Hello everyone, hello student, welcome to this session. So for today we're going to talk about self-awareness and self-management. Self-awareness and self-management are two important components of emotional intelligence. When we talk about self-awareness, it refers to the ability to recognize and understand one's emotions, thoughts, and behaviors. It involves being aware of how one's emotions and behaviors impact oneself and the others. Individuals with high self-awareness are able to accurately identify their strengths and weaknesses and are better equipped to manage their emotions and responses in different situations. When we talk about self-management, on the other hand, it refers to the ability to regulate and manage one's emotions, thoughts, and behaviors in different situations. It involves being able to control one's impulses and responses and to adapt the changing circumstances. Uh, these individuals with strong self-management skills are able to handle stress and pressure effectively and are able to or better able to achieve their goals and maintain positive relationships. Together, self-awareness and self-management are important skills that contribute to emotional intelligence, which is crucial for success. Skills individuals can enhance their ability to communicate effectively, build strong relationships, and achieve their goals. Now, what is the importance of self-awareness and self-management to an STP? So it helps us to become better decision makers. It gives us more self-confidence. So as a result, we communicate with clarity and intention, and then it allows us to understand things from multiple perspectives. It frees us from our assumptions and biases. It helps us build better relationships. So there are four dimensions of self-awareness, and let's take a look at each of them. So we have you as you, and then we have you as a Filipino, and then you and in your faith, and then you as your self-help concepts. Alright, so let's talk about self-awareness. As I've said earlier, self-awareness is an awareness of one's own personality and or individuality. As you can see in the figure 1, right here in the presentation, we have self. It's all about oneself, himself, herself, myself. It's belonging to oneself. A person in prime condition. You as an entire person, as an individual. While awareness is having or showing realization, perception, or knowledge. Be your own best friend and believe in yourself so that you can become the person you want to be. You are you and you are what you think. You are unique in your own ways. Only you can control your destiny and make difference in your life. Now, let's talk about you being as a Filipino. You as a Filipino is about being aware of and remaining constantly on guard against the Filipino tendency towards negativism. You can eventually properly yourself into positivism. Use your lakas ng loob, courage and strength to move away from fatalistic, gulong ng palad, wheel of fortune, and bahala na, kamot may attitude. Begin by getting involved with your own life, makialam ka sa buhay mo. Cooperate, makisama ka by first initiating a change in yourself. Begin without expecting instant miracle. You have got only one real friend and one worst enemy, and that is yourself. Believe in your abilities and work unyielding to reach your objective. Okay, now let's talk about you and your faith. Filipino worship is directed towards God. God as a father figure who takes care of all, bahala na ang Diyos, signifying that divine providence is responsible of our destinies. Thus, whenever problems confront us, we tend to turn against God and blame Him for all of our misfortune. And lastly, we have your self-help concepts, and this talks about you believing yourself, you keep your priorities, you take responsibilities for yourself, you create your own future, you focus on what you want, you learn to visualize the outcome of your goals, you never let anyone control your destiny for you, you have to be creative, you have to think big, you have to control your stress, you have to be aggressive and assertive at the same time, and you have to think positively, and lastly you have to chart your own course. You have to create your own Michelangelo. Now let's talk about self-management. It's about behavior, feelings, attitudes, beliefs, and programming. First off, we have behavior. The step that mostly directly controls our success or our failure is our behavior. What we do or what we do not do reflects our behavior. Behavior means our actions. Each moment of each day will determine whether or not we will be successful that moment or that day in everything that we do. Second is feelings. Every action that we take is first filtered through our feelings. How we feel about something or will always determine about or affect what we do or how we actually do it. If we feel go or positive about something, we will have more positively about it. Our feelings will directly influence our actions. Our feelings are created, controlled, determined, or influenced by our attitude. Third is attitude. Our attitude or perspective from which we view life. Some people seem to have a good attitude about most things. Some seems to have a bad attitude about everything. But when we look closer, we will find that most of us have a combination of attitudes. Some are good, some are not so good. Our attitudes play a very important part in helping ourselves become successful. Good attitudes are created, controlled, or influenced entirely by our beliefs. Speaking about beliefs, what we believe about anything will determine our attitude about it, create our feelings, direct our actions, and influence us to do well or poorly succeed or failed. The belief that we have about anything is so powerful that it can even make something appear to be something different than what it really is. Belief does not require that something be the way we see it to be. It only requires us to believe that it is. Belief does not require something to be true. It only requires us to believe that it is actually true. Lastly, we have programming. It has been common knowledge that we believe that we are programmed to believe. Our conditioning from the day we were born has already created, reinforced, and nearly permanently cemented most of what we believe about ourselves and what we believe about most of what goes on around us. Whether the programming was right or wrong, true or false, the result of it is what we believe. What we believe dictates our attitudes, affects our behavior, and determines our success or failure. Thus, programming creates beliefs, beliefs create attitudes, attitudes create feelings, feelings determine action, and action creates results. And that's all of it, students. I hope you're able to appreciate the
Being
things that we
authentic
have discussed for
requires
today.
that you first
And
be aware
I
that
just
you are a
hope that you
creative
learned
and
something
conscious
about
being, a
yourself,
created
about
self.
being aware of
Awareness
yourself,
is observing.
and
It's being able
about
to objectively
self-management.
watch what's
And
happening inside of you
eventually, you're able
as if it was
to
happening to someone else.
discover further about
It is the
yourself,
observer that
and
is
you
in each of
will
us.
know how to manage
We are all
well
born aware.
your feelings,
As we
your
grow,
emotions,
our sense of
and your
self-awareness
attitudes.
develops and allows us to observe at a deeper level what we think, what we feel, what we say, and what we do. Consciousness is a part of your awareness that eventually branches off as it becomes shaped by the sources of influence in our everyday lives. Parents, teachers, peers, and even society as a whole. It is how we normally experience ourselves and how we think we are perceived by the world around us. Being self-conscious, which is fueled by a fear of rejection, is when we make judgments about ourselves based on our own perceptions, as well as how we think we're being perceived by others. When we're being self-conscious, it's typically characterized by what we call our monkey mind, internal dialogue, or our negative self-talk. I'm not as smart as most people. I'm not good enough. I'm too fat. My nose is too big. I'm too this, I'm too that. I'm always, I never. Does any of this sound familiar? Have you ever told yourself something along those lines? Think about a situation that makes you nervous. Maybe it's giving a presentation. And if you hate giving presentations, have you ever listened to what you tell yourself before you gave one? Maybe something along the lines of, I'm not funny or witty. This is going to be a train wreck. What if someone asks a question I can't answer? You know, I'm going to look like a complete idiot if I screw this up. This is our self-critic talking. It repeats its message over and over, and it can often be meaner and harsher toward us than we've ever been towards anyone else. And once our self-critic has successfully convinced us that we are somehow subpar and less than worthwhile, we start to put measures into place to protect ourselves, to achieve, to gain approval, to seek applause, and to avoid rejection and painful situations. When we are consumed with protecting, defending, and managing how others perceive us, it gets in the way. We get in our own way of being aware and being who we really are. This keeps us from bringing our true self into relationships with others, and it keeps others from doing the same with us. The result is that nobody authentically shows up. Instead, we continue to run on autopilot and simply go through the motions. But really, who's in control? It's you. You are. You might think it's your self-critic, but it's you. And even though your self-critic will always be with you, you are the decider, and you get to control what you focus on. So by focusing on your awareness, on your observer, and watching yourself from a distance, you can make some observations. I'm being self-conscious right now. I'm feeling calm and happy. Or I'm experiencing anxiety and stress. And through these simple statements of observation, you are better equipped to choose to be your authentic self.
Now that we are done discussing about the self-awareness and self-management, as a formative assessment for this week, I want you to have your own self-portrait. According to the Collins Dictionary, a self-portrait is a drawing, painting, or written description that you do of yourself. It reflects how a person views oneself. For this week, I want you to make a self-portrait. It can be in the form of handmade or digital drawing, or it can be a written self-portrait. For those who wants to draw and paint, or you'll have to include a brief description about yourself, about the painting, and for those written self-portrait, I want you guys to limit only to a single letter size page. Upload your work in the submission folder on Blackboard on or before the indicated date. So I guess that would be all for now, and thank you for watching this video, and have a great day ahead. Bye-bye.